In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do factorizing for a grade 11 level, as well as how to use the quadratic equation. This will also cover common factors, differences of squares, factorizing cubes, and factorizing trinomials. I will also show you how to use the quadratic equation to solve trinomial equations. First is factorizing. The first type of factorizing are common factors. This is the most basic type of factorizing. An example is x cubed y plus 2x squared y. The first step for doing these is you have to find what is common to both terms. So in this question, what's common to both terms is an x squared, which is the highest common factor between both terms. We can't say x cubed because the second term only goes up to x squared. For y, it's just y is common to both. Then we open our bracket and we have to find what will get us back to the original terms. So x squared y times what will give x cubed y? You need an x. To get back to the second term, we need a 2. We make sure the sign is the same so that if we had to times this out, it would equal the same as in the question. Next is difference of squares. For this, you need to make sure each term is a perfect square and there's a difference between the terms. In other words, you are subtracting them. 4 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, 9 is a perfect square, and y is a perfect square. This means we can do difference of squares. We open up two brackets. In the one bracket a plus and in the other bracket a minus. Then we square root the first term, which would be 2x. We square root the second term, which would be 3y. And we repeat those numbers in both brackets. The only difference is the sign between the terms in both of the brackets. And that's your answer. Next is trinomials. For trinomials, we are looking for factors of the constant term, the 63, or negative 63 rather, that when added or minused will get us back to 2. We make two brackets. We put our variable in both brackets, and then we look for our factors of 63. The two factors would be 9 and 7, because 9 minus 7 will give us the 2. That means we need a positive 9 and a negative 7, because plus 9 minus 7 will get us 2. You can also do these on your calculator if you have a calculator that allows you to solve for trinomials, but it is a good idea to get into the habit of being able to do these manually as well. Next are cubes. Cubes, you can do factorizing on an addition of cubes or a subtraction of cubes. Both can be done. So for this example, I'm going to show you how to factorize an addition of cubes. The first step is to make two brackets. One is small and the second is a larger bracket. To get the first bracket, we cube root the first term. 27x cubed becomes 3x. We then keep the sign and we cube root the second term, which would be 2. Then to get the terms in the second bracket, we square the first term in the new bracket, which would be 9x squared. We then times the terms together in the first bracket. 3x times 2 is 6x, and we change the sign, negative 6x, and we square the last term in the new bracket. 2 squared is 4 plus 4. You will notice here then that the first term and the last term in the second bracket will always be positive because they are values that have been squared. Next is the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation is derived from completing the square on the formula of a parabola, ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. When we complete the square on it, we will get this. What the quadratic formula essentially gives us are the x-cuts of a parabola, where the parabola cuts the x-axis. The reason there's a plus and a minus, is because we first do the sum using plus, then we do the exact same sum using a minus, and this will give us the 2 points of x where the graph cuts the x-axis. If you only get one value, that means the parabola only cuts the x-axis in one place, and if you have an undefined value, that means the parabola does not touch the x-axis at all. In order to solve for x using the quadratic equation, you need to know how the quadratic equation works in terms of the a, b, and c. So first would be the a value. That a value there is found there and there in the formula. So whatever our a value is in our equation, we substitute that into the formula with its sign. Next is the b value. We see a b value there as well as there, and it corresponds to our equation. Then finally our c value over there and there in the quadratic equation. So in other words, for this question, x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 0, if we are asked to solve for x for the quadratic equation, we have to know our values of a, b, and c. That is our c value, our a value is 1, and our b value is minus 4. So these are the values that we then substitute into the equation. X equals minus our b value minus 4. Wherever you substitute a value, you need to put a bracket. Minus 4 squared, our b value, minus 4, our a value, which is 1, our c value, which is 2, all over 2 times our a value, which is 1. Then we solve and simplify. 4 plus minus root 16 minus 8 over 2, and we keep solving until we get to the final answer. You can do the rest on your calculator or keep showing your steps for your marker. So x comes to x equals 2 plus root 2, or x is equal to 2 minus root 2. So these represent the 2 points where this parabola cuts the x-axis. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give the video a like and subscribe so you don't miss a new upload. Leave a comment if you would like to request a video on a specific topic. For additional resources on this topic, please see the description box below.